So let's try a little experiment. Dobar dan, zdravo. Как дела? Versus Dobrý den, ahoj, jak se máš? See the difference? First one was Serbian, and the second one was Czech. You choose which one you want to speak. So how do you answer the question, well, how do you self-define? Sir, madam, how do you self-define? Well, the answer to the question for me is I say, I am Prague. Of course, people screw their faces up at me and go, what do you mean? Are you Czech? Are you from Prague? I go, no and no. I go, I am Prague. Ich bin Prager. I am Prague. I am really a Prager. And I don't think the fact that I am not a Czech person is an impediment to me actually referring to myself as a Prager. Now, you're all probably wondering if I'm cracked out or I know what the hell I'm talking about, but it's true. Let's parse this out because it's a little bit of a sort of a circular discussion. Here we go. First of all, in Europe we tend to glorify everything that went on during the interwar period. Anything that happened from the end of the First World War until the beginning of the Second World War, anything from 1918 to 1938, we pretty much like to glorify that. And unfortunately, not a lot of what happened during those years is all good, but because Europe is so bloody and it's so murderous and it has such a really nasty 20th century reputation, that we tend to look upon events and experiences that had happened during the 20th century and we laud them and we kind of uplift them and we try to glorify them. This happens in a lot of European countries that I visited. In Romania it was La Belle Époque, which was between the two wars, in which France played a very prominent role in Romania's development. Here in the former Czechoslovakia, it was the German avant-garde movement, the cinema scene, the art scene. It was like really cutting edge, and things that were going on here in terms of societal development or government development or interethnic relations, they were really cutting edge. So there was a kind of an ethos that's set upon the city of Prague, such that people that came from Prague had a certain affect, a certain attitude. They'd walk with a certain kind of a swagger, they'd have a certain kind of a mannerism about them, even their accent when they spoke Czech, for example, or German. It was totally different than you'd hear in the neighboring cities or in any of the other regional capitals. It was even said, and you're going to be surprised by this, it was said during the old days that the best German, the Hochdeutsch, the best German in all of the Central European region was spoken by the Jews of Prague. The Jews that were resident in the city of Prague spoke the absolute best German. It was well known across the region. Of course, that doesn't exist anymore because we don't have any more ethnic Germans that reside in the city of Prague. And in fact, we hardly have any ethnic Germans that speak German as their lingua franca that reside in today's Czech Republic because they were all banished at the end of the Second World War. But in Prague, there's a certain ethos, there's a certain way that people are. It's even apparent today because you can bring in Czechs from the countryside or from other Czech cities, and they don't know really how to deal with the situation here because we have a certain way about us. We have a certain way of behaving, of acting, a kind of a sort of a laissez-faire, really laid-back attitude. Some could say it's even phlegmatic or it's kind of insensitive, but there is a certain Prague ethos. So when I tell somebody, I am Prague, I really mean it because that's the way it's kind of penetrated my psyche. Naturally, I have blood from the region, so I could ethnically tie myself to the fate of these peoples. Having said that, there is a definite Prague ethos that is very difficult to explain to foreigners if they don't live here for an extended period of time. It's really difficult to put the understanding across of what I mean when I say Ich bin Praga or I am a Prager, Já jsem Pražák, Já jsem Pražan. It's really difficult to explain to them what that means. But I'm really, really proud to consider myself part of the city, and I think that if you come to Prague, you'll see exactly what I mean, and this whole mystery of I am Prague will cease to be a mystery for you as well. But I'd like to know how you self-define. Have you ever really considered it? Have you ever thought about it? This must be extremely difficult for people across the pond in the States or in Canada or in any of those wacky multicultural societies. Something that I was thinking about today and that I thought I would share with you. Let's try that experiment again. Ciao, dobrodošli, dobar dan, zdravo. Versus, mějte se, Ahojky, ahoj, čau, dobrý den, nashledanou. You taking the first bunch of words. That's what I thought you would do. Yeah. My neighbors are all watching me. I come out at this hour of the day and it's like a little show for them. Hi. Best entertainment of the day.